Hello and welcome, listeners, to another episode of Tactical Awareness. It's Season 3, Episode 19. We're on to Yuching, more heroes to zeros. This is our faction review where we break down N5 profiles and armies for Infinity the Game, Corvus Belli's landmark science fiction tabletop war game. And today we are starting with the Imperial Service, Yuching's original Sectorial faction. So let's jump in with my co-hosts Owen and Dan and get this going. I mean, can you answer that question, Owen?
Why does Yuching suck so much? No, I can't answer that question. It's a trick.
Just a hottest of hot takes. I like that at least that we're starting this with the hottest new army, Imperial Service. I'll be real impressed if this doesn't go off the rails almost immediately.
Was the second faction that I collected all of Yuching and then I collect every single model. Do I regret it?
Absolutely.
No. It's a good time.
They're fine.
Everyone says they're crap, and then I beat them.
Yeah, I think you're doing fine.
Mostly because they're bad, but still.
They're bad and they should feel bad. That's the important thing. They should feel bad that they lost and they're bad at playing. Well, we're starting this Heroes to Zeros off with some sweet Imperial Service. We're following our same format, oldest to newest, as you know, that's the way we do in this series. But weirdly, the oldest in this case is also the newest because the Imperial Service just got an update. They got some cool new models. How many new models did you guys use in your lists? I used
1, 2, 3,
5,
4,
6, 7.
That would imply I could tell the difference between an old and a new model in that faction.
We did a whole episode on it. This is the best part. You just deleted that from your memory. We literally covered the ball.
I have no memory of this happening.
That makes me so happy. I don't know what you're talking about, Ash. I barely pay attention when you open your mouth. I was in a car with you for 7 hours and I don't remember any of it. I was like 10 hours, actually. Well, I mean, that's fine. You don't have to. Dan and I will figure this out. But I do think Dan should start this one. And if you haven't listened to this podcast format before, Heroes to Zeros, or Zeros to Heroes is our faction breakdown for N5. And we go through each of the big factions and infinities. We try to list for a faction, talk about the units we took, why we like them. And at the end, we just do a roundup of any units that we missed and maybe why they didn't get included. And our varying play styles usually mean that we come up with something fairly different. I think we're going to as well this time around, but we'll lead with Dan, who's actually actively playing Yuching. I gave my Yuching army away as a prize at a tournament maybe 3 years ago, and I haven't played them since. Although I do have the stuff from Kaldstrom painted up, the winter Yuching miniatures. I have them all painted up still. So I guess technically I own a Yuching army, but it's been a hot minute since I played them. So why don't you lead off, Dan, with your 300-point list for Imperial Service?
I suppose I should post this in the Discord.
In the Discord, and put in the army code too, so I can throw it up in the video descriptions and the podcast descriptions. People can
so needy
copy your list. Didn't we get some feedback at one point where people were like, they actually played? I think it was you, Owen. We were at Adepticon. Someone was like, "Hey man, I played a game with your Kestrel army, and it was ridiculous."
Yeah, I was playing them as Acon when it was
That's
like
right.
all the Acon proxies essentially.
Yeah. That's right.
Done pretty well there.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right,
So
let's see what we got.
My list is pretty similar to what I played in N4, but spiced up with some new hotness. Mostly because in N5 I switched away from the Sujam because Climbing Plus was awkward and weird, and now Climbing Plus is good again and is back to normal. And so the Shujan is back in action. So we got Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu had an amazing glow up.
We pretty much unilaterally agreed that this guy is great now. Like,
I thought he was
fantastic.
good regardless.
You did, but Owen and I really changed our tune on him.
Dude, he was 62 points for his profile before.
He was, and he got a super duper point.
He went down 9 points and gained like 4 new rules.
I like Decoy too. It doesn't
Decoy
do
is
him any good.
hilarious.
Yeah,
It's
so
hilarious.
He
Yeah.
gained ECM Hacker -3. He gained Decoy 2. Maybe that was it.
There's just something about shooting a decoy with an EM gun and then it doesn't go away
Because it's not lethal.
because it doesn't force a save.
Yeah.
He's got immunity.
It's really funny because he's immunity enhanced. That's right. He's immunity enhanced and you shoot
Wait,
with an
if
EM gun.
you
He goes,
shoot his decoy with an EM weapon, nothing happens.
Yeah,
But you know it's going to do nothing, so people aren't going to do that.
correct.
But it's
Just-
real exists.
It just makes me laugh. Like this faction.
like this faction. You're
Yeah.
such a
I mean, Whip 17, beautiful. There's only one other Whip 17. Two other Whip 17? I think it's just the Avatar, right?
the Avatar?
Yeah. It's just the avatar.
So, Whip 17, he's got a Flash Pulse, which I have actually been using offensively. If you're like, okay, I need to get into this zone, and I need to go through like 2 missile launchers and a sniper. And I'm like, I can do that. And so I run into the open with a 6-inch move. I throw 1 Flash Pulse on one Flash Pulse on the other with total immunity. 2 get through. I make 1 save. I lose 1 wound. I got 2 left. I move again. All 3 shoot. I take another wound. Now I'm in cover, and now I'm opposing his zone. And he's like, no problem. And one of his guys is Flash Pulse and stunned. So it's like,
Because you have like an almost
this is
you have a
ridiculous.
no miss flash pulse at +3 band. Right? If they're not
yeah,
covered,
right. And
whatever,
then they're
you're
in
just like,
cover, but still, you're
bam.
hitting on 17, and
Yeah.
you're like, it's fine. And if he's got immunity enhanced, so it's just like it's just fun. And the biggest issue with him before is that he could just get hacked. But now with Decoy, it's so hard you're not going to waste your time doing that. And he's got ECM Hacker -3. I think the Lieutenant +1 order is the best one. Because he's only BS 12. He's got the Vulcan shotgun and the Pulsar. Vulcan shotgun is AP continuous. So if he gets up close to you, you don't want to fight him.
No.
And then the Flash Pulse just covers him up to like the Spitfire range, which is good enough in most cases. The Thunderbolt seems kind of cool. You got the +1 burst, but nah. +1 order when you have Strategos seems pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
And then I brought the Sujan, and I did not bring the Spitfire Sujan.
It's funny, a lot of people don't these days.
I mean, Spitfires are great. They're wonderful. They're really good, especially on a BS14 guy that can move really fast and get into position. But that heavy shotgun at BS14,
They gave him a T-bolt. They gave him a T-bolt to reach out at range.
and he's got a Thunderbolt, right? So he's not completely, inept.
Well, he shoots up to 40 at 0, right? Like
That was pretty good.
that ain't nothing. Or sorry, no, it's 0 all the way to the end. It's +3 up to 40. He outranges HMGs at super long ranges.
Yeah. So I mean, less burst, right? But he's got the BS attack, save roll -1.
Yep.
And so I find that he's really good at getting in behind like enemy tags or enemy heavy infantry or going up close and just pummeling them with the +1 damage AP.
Mm-hmm.
He can kill anything that's hard to crack,
Yeah.
which is nice, except for Maximus.
And it makes his
What are you gonna do?
Thunderbolt. Well, it makes his Thunderbolt SR5, which is not nothing either. Which is cool.
Not terrible.
And a light flamethrower that's SR6 +1 burst can just friggin' melt something.
Yep.
And it's just fun. I mean, he's Fizz 14, so move dodge I think is worth it every time. For the amount of time that you'll miss, you'll have gained more movement when you're dodging 4.
Still cautious moves 8 too when he's in his kitty form.
He gained dodge -3 only in his kitty form.
Yep.
But it's interesting. I don't know how useful it is because you usually want to just be shooting back at people.
If you're in cover though, like the shotgun guy might not want to be it sometimes. He might get caught at an awkward range, right?
Fair enough. But he's got the Thunderbolt, right? Well, I guess there's that in between, but
Yeah, but like if you're Thunderbolts, if you're fighting someone with like camo or you know what I mean, like there's somebody who's like the mods are all stacked against you, just
well,
dodging it.
that's only if he's in high mobility form, though. If you're in combat form, you're probably shooting back.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you deploy him if you're going second in mobility form because he's harder to kill in mobility form than he is in combat.
If you're gonna try to assassinate him, yeah.
Like he won't kill you, but he's harder to kill because they can't range band you, and you'll dodge 4 inches out of the way as soon as you get one off.
Yeah.
And the shot's the same. It's a 14, or your gun was 14, but your gun had a bunch of asterisks around whether it would stay being 14.
Yeah. And he's spectacularly hard to kill in one go.
Yeah. And then armor 5, BTS 6, no wounding cap. Hey, so we start off with
remote presence. Yes, remote presence, no wounding cap. We should note too, which means he can take 3 wounds and still be standing.
Hey, so now that we've gone through our six effective wounds, maybe 5, I mean maybe 7, then we move on to the shitters, which is the Celestial God Monitor and 4 Guangxi.
Pretty classic. I mean, they upped the point cost to Guangxi, I think, by 1 point. Weren't they 5 before?
At 1 point.
Yeah, they went.
They gave them dodge +3 and dodge +2 inches, though.
That's not nothing.
They lost Dogged, which is unfortunate. But
yeah, which means you can't dogged them to keep the explode from happening. Or is explode a choice now?
Explode's a choice.
Okay.
Ooh, is the wiki up? Oh, the wiki is updated. Also, big news.
Ooh, big news.
Wiki is updated. We should have started with that. Amazing. So fun. It is obligatory.
It's obligatory. Okay, so then Dogged doesn't cancel it. So to get rid of Dogged means it has to go off.
But if you're close by friends, it can't go off.
Yep.
So there's that. I think Guangxi actually got a little better, and that's mostly. I mean, they don't have any cover ever, so even if they're in a link, you can't have them in cover. I don't think you actually bring them as a 5-man link. I think you just have them as a core, and then 2 other just hanging out on the wings, just guarding corners. And then you just want enough to give the special dice to the smoke grenade launcher on the Celestial Guard Monitor to help cover up your advancing.
Yep, just the ones you can accurately place dice, and have the other ones just be corner.
And then the Guangxi are required to be in the same group as the Celestial Guard Monitor, 4 to a monitor. You can bring 8, and I own 8, and I've painted 8. But I don't. This was before I started building lists. So I was like, hey, let's paint them all up. Batch paint. I'm used to painting Warhammer. I can paint 30 orcs. I can paint 8 Guangxi. And no, I don't think there's a usable list with 8 Guangxi. But yeah, prove me wrong in the comments.
Well, the Suzhan has an infinite number of orders, basically. He can just go do as many things as he wants. And so can the next guy, who I love. I love this guy.
The Koga Ninja?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's probably my favorite addition of all the new stuff. He's just.
I also took one. I didn't take the one you took, but I did take one.
I love the 28 point. I mean, it's all EM. I mean, it's Pulsar, which is actually kill, right? That's just the BTS.
Pulsar's against BTS,
right?
Yeah, it's nanobots.
Yeah. So the Pulsar can do damage, and otherwise it's EM mines and EM carbine and EMCC weapon. But EMCC weapon is arguably the best CC weapon in the game. CC 23, martial arts level 3, MIM 3, built-in specialist operative, which is really nice. Climbing plus, so we can get to those weird objective spots. And he's got deployment +8 and mine layer. And he's also got decoy. And so there's 3, and we've already talked about this in the other episode, but yeah, you get 3 plus deployment +8 camo markers.
Yep. Just
at the start, which is, I love midfield muckery, and so it's just beautiful. I love it. You can bring 2, but just a little pricey to bring 2. But if you get in trouble, he's just a camo marker running up the side of the board doing fun stuff.
Bang bomb +4 as well, because it takes his fizz to 16 for dodges against
only. Not against templates, but anything face to face, yes. With the bang bomb.
Sweet ability.
It's very situational. I have yet to see it actually come to play, but sure.
Yeah, I've used it a bunch of times. Just like whenever you're
I keep getting templated.
So that's fair enough. When someone tries to come assassinate you, unless it's with a template, people don't tend to want to come too near him because he does have a pulsar, which is a big template. So you're peace trading at that point.
That's true. Well, stupid wands, man.
Yeah, wands are. I mean, I trade 8 points for 30 points. Anyone who's gonna play Life is Cheap like Owen does, you're right. That will happen.
Yeah,
all right, what's next?
Also in my life. Next is the Dragon Lord. I kind of had like 6 points to play with.
He's neat though because he does link with Celestial Guards. So if you're looking for a cheap way to get to the Harris minimum for 5 points, like if you wanted to like, I actually used him to get to 3 models, to get to the Harris because the minimum for a fire team for Celestial Guards is 3, and he counts as one of the fire team members. So if you just have 2 or it counts as Celestial Guard guys to get the fire team bonus, that he can just be the 3rd guy for 5 points, which is kind of handy actually.
He's a specialist. Basically, he's a souped up war core, so he's got a nanopulsar as well. So
and a lightsaber,
and also the monofilaments. You see,
a fucking lightsaber. Yeah, he's not just an up-armed war core. He's an armed to the teeth war core. He's a war core with all of his daddy's money.
So he's kind of like hey, if he's still alive, guarding his corner. If no one pushed that side, he can go forward and push a button. He can also peace trade because of the nanopulsar and whatever. And my goal is to kill a tag with him with the monofilament. Just go in and go,
trade 5 points for a tag.
It may, ask me this time next year if I've ever done it. The answer will probably be no because I usually have him standing up trying to be
trying to do something ridiculous.
But I think it's solid for 5 points. Irregular, but that's fine. The Ginyao. This is a new drop troop, the Albedo 3 parachutist. Who's got super jump, jet propulsion, which is nice. So again, they recently changed that back to just plus 2 inches when you're super jumping. You can only do it once per activation. So he moves 8 in any which shape or form, and then moves 2. But with the Albedo and BS-12, I just brought the more brawler kind, where he's got the boarding shotgun, heavy riot stopper, and paramine. I figure if there's some arrow piece that's annoying me, I can get out to the side. I can throw down a smoke grenade launcher. I got a disco baller in the other group. I can get him on the side of the board, walk up, place a paramine, come around either with the boarding shotgun or heavy riot stopper, and nothing is immune to para ammo anymore. And no one wants to get hit by para ammo.
Well, you've got para plus you've got a whole bunch of EM on the Koga Ninja. That is a bricked heavy infantry. That is the one. You've got the tools here to do the ultimate state trap, right? Where you've EM'd plus para'd somebody and they cannot do anything. They require an engineer.
Yeah. Or the stupid drop. What is that called? Speedball.
Speedball. Yeah.
But speedball, not as good as it once was. So
Nope, definitely taking a hit because it can't be used automatically.
So that's my first group. So you got 9 orders with the Sun Tzu +1 order with Strategos. That's 11 orders plus 1 irregular that you can convert. And so potentially 12 orders split between the Suzhan, Sun Tzu, Celestial Guard throwing smoke grenades, Koga Ninja coming up and doing stuff, or I guess the Ginyao starts off the board, so it's only 10. But you don't feel it as much because he's out because of the Strategos. Second group, you got the Bayara, which is the guard, the little dragon guy.
The size 4 guy.
Heavy flamethrower, disco baller. He's got guard, biometric visor, 360 visor, MSV1, discover reroll, religious. He's bad against a lot of things, but he's also good against a lot of things. And he's really good at just watching a corner, I think.
He's cheap for 18 points.
18 points is not bad. And BS-12 is good enough to peek a corner, throw a disco ball out, and you can no longer see that gap that the Suzhan has to run up to get in behind and start causing mayhem.
-9 Pericles come up and is crazy, too. The fact that you're -9 when he attacks you is bananas.
Yeah, and he's BS-12.
CC22. So when you come around the corner,
if you're within 8 inches, he's like, well, I could heavy flamethrower you, or I could light shotgun you with decent accuracy, or I could just punch you, either with a Cobra pistol, which is +1 damage, PS6, or the Para-CC weapon if you're good in combat, and hopefully you don't have Natural Born Warrior.
Even if you're bad in combat, man, that -9, like, that -9 is crazy.
It's certainly not bad.
Any face-to-face, he just tries to taser you, and you're -9, whatever you're doing.
And I always put guys facing the wrong way, so 360 advisory just takes that out of it. So I'm not caught with my pants down.
That's right. Just Dan-proof with that skill.
Exactly.
Just Dan-proof the shit out of it. Now, I like this. Yeah. This is cute what you did here with your little 3-man that you put
okay, so it's like it's weird because
it's a hacker brick.
The Zan Ying can be the start of the fire team and can have the pheasant with sharing a keyword. Or the Wu Ming can be the start with the Zanying having the same keyword and the pheasant being a wild card. And so this is more or less of, do they have hackers? Because I want to be throwing pitchers and I want to be linked with the Zanying.
When you want the Wu Ming to be in there so that you can get the firewall -6.
Right.
Because with 0 pain and firewall -6, you can toss out like a -12. Or -9 to hack you? Is it -12?
Yeah, good luck hacking me.
Good luck hacking me, bro.
It's just the awkwardness is if I'm killer hacking with a pheasant, and then they can attack the Zhang Ying for free.
Yeah.
But the Zhang Ying's BTS 6 with firewall -6. So I'm probably not that big of a deal. And immunity BTS, which is
and 0 pain, which I'm pretty sure is.
So, but he has to do the hacking program. What I'm saying, if they're in the Harris and I'm hacking another hacker and they're hacking back, they have access to.
Yeah, well, they're all -6 just from the.
Yeah. Anyways, long story long. It's a fun little Harris. The Wu Ming is just a cheerleader, but also is no joke heavy infantry armor 4 boarding shotgun. So he can do work if necessary if things are getting messy in the midfield. And then the Zhang Ying is one of the new profiles that was upgraded. And then the Pheasant Imperial rank got an emitter with his so that's also another option of just kind of redundancy. And then for fun, I don't know why I keep bringing these guys, but the Canrins, I feel like they're maybe still overcosted, but I think they're really fun. Having the Mad Trap there with the 4 deployment +8, they're MIM 6 submachine guns. They sometimes do work fighting, but mostly they just cause mayhem in the midfield, laying mad traps, and making it really annoying for anybody to do anything.
And they're decoy too.
Yeah, that's the best part is just hanging them out. They're like, am I stupid enough? Looking at my eyes. Don't worry,
I took this to the logical conclusion.
Dude, I have brought one with all 3 Canrins. I
am shitting MIM -6 counters throughout the midboard. Yeah, don't you worry. Decoy. Don't you worry. There are so many MIM -6 and MIM -3 in my deployments on. It's madness.
But yeah, it's like Imperial Service just seems so interesting now with the updates from before. They were very limited before, and I think you can make some pretty good lists. I really like them. Everyone didn't like them in N4, but I thought they were solid. Maybe not as diverse as you want to deal with a lot of different kinds of problems all the time, but I think you can make some really solid lists. And now they have that O12-esque feel of I can have all of the weird para EM stuff, but like turn up to 11, almost better than O12 maybe.
Yep. Maybe.
I did a little with all the new little symbols. When you click on a profile, you can see what works for what. Imperial Service has 12 unique models that only work for Imperial Service.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
Most of those are all the new stuff that just came out.
Yeah, like the Ginyao and the Koga.
One old one that is hard to find is the Bao Troops, but we'll talk about those later.
Well, I went a different way, slightly, in that I took some of the things that you took, but then I took them to the maximum amount. I combined I like this model with the Owen's version of, well, if one is good, all is better. And really went hard. So I'm going to throw this
Post in
up.
Discord.
I'm doing it right now. This list is called Let's Get Sticky. And it starts off with 3 of those cannon layers. So my midfield has 9 mim -6 dudes in it. Because they're all whatchamacallit, they're all decoy 2, mim -6, and yeah, and just littering the field, and also 3 mad traps, because the mind player puts down mad traps. The goal is to place them, like the real ones, hopefully inside of the reloadable zone, for the dudes coming later on. But yeah, the goal here is we're going to throw out mad traps, get sticky in the middle of the board. I have a ton of sticky guns and a ton of EM in this list, and I want to brick something. And if I can't brick it, I'll hack it. And if I can't hack it, I'll kill it with heavy machine guns. Because my next thing is 3 Ginyaos, which I can't think of without thinking of Jimmy Yang, the comedian who's in the Silicon Valley TV show. His name is Jin Yang. I just imagine him falling from this. I just imagine Jin Yang's falling from the sky and creating child armies. I took one with a boarding shotgun, heavy ride stopper, and a paramount. This is the disposable one who's going to go do hunting stuff. He might actually fall from the sky. The other 2 are there with adhesive rifle launchers, heavy ride stoppers, and deployable repeaters. They're going to parachute on left and right and throw down repeaters for me. The goal is that they all arrive turn 1, and they just go do that, and then they are fueling turn 2 with my cannons, my Long Wang. And the Long Wang is the new tag for Imperial Service. It's only size 6, so it's not huge. But he's armed 7, which means he's an up armored size 6. I think he's the heaviest armored size 6 that isn't max with his immune arm, right? Structure 3, BS14, which is great for a like a mid-range tag. A lot of the ones in other armies are like 13s and 12s. And then he's a biometric visor, which I find really interesting. It just adds a few options to him, obviously, with being able to ignore the mods for impersonation, and then the ignoring surprise attack mods. So you can't sneak up on him, which I really like. And then he's got the usual stuff. SR -1. He does have BS attack -3, which is nice because it's only ignored by Warhorse.
That is nice.
So, like, functionally, it doesn't do anything against Morats, but apart from that, like, there's very little in the game that ignores that mod stack. And at BS14 and Arm 7, it actually makes him pretty defensible, and he's really good suppressing. And that was why I took the not Mark 12. I took the HMG version, because I want him to have the HMG so he can suppress at some point. He's still got an adhesive launcher, and he's got a +1 burst ride stopper for some point defense. He does have a template, and he's got courage, which is nice for a man tag.
Mark 12 can suppress.
Sorry?
The Mark
12 can suppress. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of Thunderbolt. But then, of course, TAC-aware as well, so you get the extra order. And then group 2, I've got my little hacking brick. It's a lighter version of the one that you took, Dan. It's got the Jin Wei, because he's got a firewall -3, and then he counts as a Celestial Guard, to hang it with a Celestial Guard hacker. And I've got a Dragon Lord in there for the 3rd man to make it legal as a Harris, right? My little trick for making that Harris, and I like it because it's 38 points, right? And you get a firewalled hacker who can throw out stuff through the repeaters from the flanks there with the Jinyaos. And
the Celestial Guard hacker is pretty good because with 14,
yeah, exactly. For 14 points, like, he's no joke. And the goal there obviously is that by throwing a firewall on him, it just makes it hard to defend against him. And then I took this because I didn't think anyone else was going to. It's only 28 points. And if I'm going to sticky stuff, I want to try and shoot it with EM guns. And this thing has an EM carbine +2 burst and a delightful mimetism -6. It's the airplane, the Fei Quan Imperial Tactical Wing. The stupid ass airplanes that they've added to this game. And for 28 points, a burst 4 EM carbine. His whole entire job is, once I've stickied something, just go shoot it with the EM gun so it can never come back. Right? If there's no engineer on the table, then that's just a dead model. If they have a lot of speed.
He also has sensor.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's like
He can smoke
you
dudes
could do
out.
some crazy stuff with this guy for 28 points. I think he's good.
I actually think he's good. He's too big, right? Because he's size 7. You can't do anything about that, and he can't go prone like to hide. But he's really good at smoking stuff out. If you need to find somebody with a sensor, or if like you just want to go and like try and hunt tag with him, because that EM carbine is terrifying for on a min -6 model.
I brought him in my vanilla list. Not this
Did you?
one, but vanilla.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, he's also hard to kill on the active turn if you don't have the right tools because he's dodge -3.
Yeah,
You're rolling on a 12 and they're -9. Yeah, they don't get cover, but
-9
it's not terrible.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's still 6 points better than the average guy in cover, right?
Mhm.
And then he's got super jump 3, so he moves 11. Like it looks like he's not that fast with 8-2, but he's effectively going 11-2 every move, right? So 13-inch move per action, and that's very fast. And then my last model is the Koga Ninja. I took the Killer Hacker though with Upgrade Carbonite. I really like the Killer Hacker profile for this because it allows him to use his surprise attack more than once. Because Killer Hackers come with Cyber Mask, which means you can go back into a marker state. The other regular Koga Ninjas only get it as long as their decoys are alive, whereas this guy can just do it over and over again. And considering he's got a +1 burst EM carbine, that means he can be shooting. And with another deployable repeater, and of course being able to use Trinity, it just means my hacking net's a little bit more dangerous for hackers. And I like him a lot. And that's my list. 300 points, 3.5 SWC, 2 groups. What did you come up with, Owen?
Mostly bounty hunters. That was what I brought. I brought an OSS list. And there you go. And the army code.
Fabulous.
So I brought Sun Tzu. I think I bring Sun Tzu in every list that he shows up in because I agree with everything that and he has counterintelligence, which I like.
So I should have mentioned my lieutenant was just a regular celestial guard.
Yeah, I was double checking. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, I had one.
I think it used to be 1 swick for the celestial guard lieutenant, and now they took that away.
Yeah, it's free now. Yep.
Koga Ninja because I think they're great. It's the EM one that Dan brought with the mine layer EM mine. There's a couple different ways you can break up my bounty hunter gang, which is Miranda, Sforza, Apangalang, Shien, bounty hunter. So all 6 of those can link in whatever ways they want. The only thing that matters is that the Shien is with 2 bounty hunters, any 2 of either the named characters or the regular ones, because he wants the dice. Yeah. Miranda Ashcroft because she's amazing. Like, you just bring her because she's in the faction. Like, can't stress that enough.
EM, yep. And you took the EM one, yeah.
Yeah, emitter plus burst with marksmanship, mimetism 6. And then she duos and good. She gets 4 dice on her emitter, and she hits on 15s, and your minus probably 9 or worse. And yeah. And then Sforza
finally painted mine. after like 10 years. Yeah. I've had that model for Prime for like 10 years.
Sforza's only there because I needed another bounty hunter. That said, you can find use for a guy who's BS 13, and he gives me viral, which is just another type of weapon attack. Because like in my list, I have kind of everything, whether it's like HMGs, adhesives, viral, emitter, EM, smoke, grenades, disco balls, flamethrowers, emirats. So after the bounty hunter brick, I brought the Quang Fang hacker parachutist.
You called this list EM, I guess. I think you should have called it, oh no, it's the cops.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like that. You've got
I should have just called it Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh no, it's the cops. Yeah, Dog the Bounty the Dog Hunter.
Yeah. It's because originally it was like 2 Koga Ninjas and then double EM or emitter plus burst or whatever.
Instead, you just have a literal like dog's breakfast of every ammunition type.
Yeah. I think the parachutist killer hacker is amazing.
Yeah.
Did you guys really bring him? I don't think either of you did.
Which one? From the
Imperial Vanguard?
The Quang Fang? No, I haven't taken him. Yeah. No, you never took him. You're the only guy that took that guy. He is really good. Because he's got
specialist
a firewall. Fuck,
BS attack plus burst, emirat, and Burst 4 SMG who walks in on the side of the board with Mimetism.
Yep.
And then he's BTS 6 with that firewall. So he's even harder to hack when he goes in. And he's BS 13. Warcore because Warcore. And then group 2, I also brought a Bayara with the Disco Baller because it adds to my like pile of gear. And then the Celestial Monitor with the Guangxi Smoke Grenade just so the Xian can do the combo, and a Motorized Bounty Hunter. If they don't want, if the smoke works on the first order, then I don't have anything else to do. So we just send the Motorized Bounty Hunter up.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of secret stuff. I think I would show almost all my models.
Yeah.
The only question will be the Koga Ninjas. So
and your parachutist.
You'll see. Yeah, no, what I mean to say is that like if you count deployed models, there'll be 16 tokens on the table, like models plus the Koga Ninja. Because of Sun Tzu's extra order, it'll really hide the fact that there's that parachutist that'll sneak up later on.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I would pretend Sforza to be.
Just know that you have 3 bounty hunters. They don't know which one's Sforza. They know one of them is Sforza, but they don't know which one.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
And then Sforza has immunity arm and dogged and Exposer, so he can just go on suppression and be annoying as hell.
Yeah, that's certainly true. It's probably Sforza, Xian, Miranda, Bounty Hunter, like in the combo there, because the other Bounty Hunter just sits. But then the Pangalang's there to reload the Acrolak cannons on the Bounty Hunters as needed. Or the Disco Ball on my Bayara.
The Bounty Hunter has to be one of the core starting ones, so you can't do Miranda's. No, you can do Miranda's versus Xian. Never mind. I take it all back.
Yeah, but I think you just put the Bounty Hunters on each side is the solution. Yeah.
You don't link them; you just kind of throw them.
No, you just Bounty Hunter Miranda, and then Sforza Xian Bounty Hunter, and like that's the
so duo.
And then
Harris.
and then you could even make it a Harris by having the Pangalang hang out with Miranda and them.
Yeah,
just to move them around for free. Because you get the Harris. Like, I'm not using it, so...
Yeah, so you drag them. You get 2 Harrises in this faction.
I actually really like the Pangaling FTO because you're paying...
It has a gun, doesn't it?
You're paying 4 points for a light shotgun.
Yeah.
So you can drag them around. You can drag your baggage around if you have to, like, reload stuff, which is really nice. And if you have to fight with them, you can fight with them instead of just being useless.
Yep, but pretty straightforward. Like, I'm just going to shoot at you, and then my specialist will walk on later on and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's got legs. So we did a pretty good job. We covered most of this. Weirdly, none of us took a bow troop. And we actually talked about how they'd gotten the +1 burst Thunderbolt and Flash Pulse that were pretty good. And then none of us took them, which is interesting.
He's way too expensive for 1 wound, 1 armor.
23 points, 1 wound, 1 armor. Yeah, you're right. He's just a neat utility piece.
Look at all my gear. If he was BS 13, I'd think about it.
Yeah, I consider BS 13 as well.
I don't mind the sniper profile because you got MSV and Albedo together.
Sure.
So it's...
Yeah. And Albedo troop, a pocket Albedo troop is super handy for trying to pick off those, visored like sniper pieces.
All I see is he's a bad Satra. But that's the price you pay for playing Yuching.
Is everything slightly worse than the other factions you already play? None of us took Xi Zhuang, the Guifeng, the special character. He's one of the
I think the standout is that none of us took Adil.
None of us took Adil or Major
Adil
Luna.
Is amazing.
Yeah, Adil and Major Luna are both amazing.
I have him in my other list. And I have a bunch of lists with this faction because I've been probably playing this one the most in the new edition, just having fun with it. I told myself I wasn't going to. I was going to focus on White Banner, but I was like, but fun toys.
Well, she's cool. Number 2, Mind Layer with Mad Traps, Light Flame Flare +1 burst. He's just a 21 point like utility character. He's an FO. We didn't take Major Luna, who's one of the Aristea characters, MSV1. She's like a worse Nauf. With a viral sniper rifle. If the viral sniper rifle was +1 burst, I'd say
worse and better. Triangulated fire goes a long way.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right about hitting for sure. She's better. It's weird though because it makes her multi-spectral viral almost like irrelevant. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like
Sure, that's in reactive kind of thing versus the active.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But a damage 4 viral, like, again, the problem with her is that she has to. There are certain enemies she just doesn't want to shoot at.
Yeah.
Like a damage 4 gun against a tag's pretty cool.
That's what I mean. Viral sniper rifles went down in value just because they don't work as well.
Yeah.
And then we didn't use the tag support pilot. He doesn't do anything particularly interesting.
I think my biggest problem with her is how hard she competes directly against Miranda, because they're the same points, right? Like it's 28 points for either of them.
For Luna? Yeah.
Okay. For Luna versus Miranda. And it's like a lot more people can sniff out a Mimetism 3 than an Albedo 6.
Yeah.
Or not Albedo 6, a Mimetism 6.
Yeah.
And then Miranda's marksmanship offsets the range bonus that the viral gets.
Mm-hmm.
So the main thing that boosted Luna's utility is there weren't many ammo in this faction. And now that you have Mine Layer Koga Ninjas, you can hide Luna a little bit better.
Oh, there you go.
Where you don't know exactly. It's like, there's Luna up on the roof. There's the Nim 3.
Yeah, there's
now it's like,
marker.
I don't know which one it is. Or even if they have Luna. And so it's kind of, you can play a little more actually hidden now, which is nice.
You can use this guy to make more.
Luna only exists in vanilla Yuching and ISS now. She doesn't exist anywhere else.
You have Sforza pretend to be a second Miranda.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Well, that's true, actually.
Right?
That'd be way better, because Miranda is not hard to kill if you have some tools or template.
And that way you have Miranda on either side, and no one knows which one's which.
Yeah. One of them's fake.
Where's Miranda? She's coming from some direction.
Yeah. One of them's fake.
Mm-hmm. Nobody took Tao Wu, so no counterintelligence. He's pretty cheap, the contender version, which I quite like.
I mean, if you bring Sun Tzu, you don't bring Tao Wu.
That doesn't make any sense then, because he's not going to die.
And you're going to get counterintelligence right away anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, built in.
Yeah. Tao Wu is another fun holomask, so you don't have to reveal. And so if you're not bringing Sun Tzu, you could bring Tao Wu as Sun Tzu.
Or take a fourth Sun Tzu.
Then you roll Whip 14. You don't roll Whip 17 for your. Like,
you roll Whip 17 and have a fourth Sun Tzu.
Well, he doesn't have Echo and Mask. It would just be
no, but Tao Wu has Holomask, because then you have him be another Sun Tzu.
Because Sun Tzu is 3 people already.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So you have a fourth Sun Tzu that way. Be like, Sun Tzu is over here.
Tao Wu is solid, but maybe just a bit pricey for what he's doing, because he's only moved 4/4, and so it's just a lot of work to get him up to do the things that you want to do.
Yeah. Nobody took Divas, because kind of why would we?
Well, they took the Sophotech away. They should have just taken them all away.
It's interesting they're immune isolated. I love that skill. That's so weird. They can't be jammered. The only time it matters is they can't be jammered. I guess the hackers, there's so many hackers, the hackers can't be oblivioned.
Yeah. I mean, they can't be affected by EM, so that's pretty cool.
That's true. Yep.
Because they're not heavies and they can't be isolated. Mm-hmm. So your EM weapon doesn't do anything.
Just doesn't do anything. Yeah. Period. And then you took the Qian Feng. Nobody took Pheasants. Nobody took Adil. Nobody took the Shenjing Machine, the Divine Machine Battalion.
Yeah, the Shenji are like, I don't. Well, they're the new engineer, and they were cool because they had cool turrets. But with the nerf of turrets, it's like, maybe not.
Still think they should just made turrets negative feedback,
or not perimeter. Would have been okay with either one of those.
Well, either of those things would be fine. I still like the idea of them being thrown as remember in Team Fortress, you throw the turrets out.
You had to put it next to you. You had to build it. You had to hit it with a hammer.
You had to go back and whack
every single turret game, except for I think League of Legends has a character who has to hit the turret.
Am I thinking
with
of
a hammer.
Overwatch? I'm thinking of something where you threw turrets out. I just remember there was something where you threw
whatever
turrets.
Game it is, it's bad.
Overwatch, you also have to build the turret.
Okay.
I don't remember what his name is because I don't play Overwatch, but I know that you have to do that.
Jesus Christ, I take it all back. You fucking nerds, go outside.
Okay, I think negative feedback is the cool one where you only have one per guy. With
yeah.
And I think
you can't spam them. I think it just fixes it.
Because I think no one wants to pick turrets ever then.
Yeah.
There's a few profiles where you're spending like 3 extra points for the turret profile, and sure, but
It's overcorrected. Like no one's gonna take them.
two-
They've gone from
two
being
profiles in the game that have that.
yeah, they've gone from being silly to being just not used at all. Which I think
They went from like niche, a kind of effective tool, because
Yeah.
they weren't silly, because
Yeah.
everyone who tried to spam them, it wasn't effective. You didn't win games doing that.
No. But
It
there's
was like
really powerful. Like you spent some games around like 6 turrets. We played a couple games where
Then he'd like lose.
There's like 4. No, it was annoying, and they were very handy.
I definitely lose. I had never. I don't think in any game I won, I put more than like 3 down, maybe 4 one time.
One model put 3 down though.
Sure. Once every turn.
That's what I mean, right? Like one model put 3 down.
I mean, your NFB solution doesn't solve that. Like,
only
that's
if it
the
doesn't
same.
die. Like you can ignore it or like smoke it and then it's gone. Like, but if you put it down every turn, it's reloading for free. That's 3 more positions it can be in. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
Then the FB solution still fixes that. You've got one. You can cover one angle and then it's down, and then you.
But that isn't the solution.
That isn't the solution. You get no turrets now.
That's right. He had 0. Nobody took Adil, which is crazy.
Adil is the big standout because
amazing.
he's actually good. I know why. Like Dan and I aren't going to bring him because we brought Sun Tzu, and like you can't spend that many points on those two. Is my opinion. Like you could bring Adil. It's just like that's over 100 points for those 2 guys.
Everything. It's crazy.
For 49 only points, 3 points cheaper, but.
He does literally everything. It's like the list of things this guy does.
Adil is just a better Sujan. Like,
yeah, he's got an AP Spitfire, a Nano Pulsar, a Disco Baller, Heavy Pistol, Monofilament Scope, -6 Paracc if he gets in trouble, Deactivator X Visor, continuous damage on all of his guns. His Nano Pulsar's continuous damage. So you have a BTS flamethrower. Yep. And then he's courage, dodge +2 inches, immunity shock, martial arts 3, number 2, sensor, specialist operative, stealth, warhorse. What an insane profile.
Yep.
On a heavy infantry, arm 4, BTS 6, 2 wound asshole.
Who has just easy access to firewall -6 links.
Yep.
Crazy. Anyway, no one brought him because why not?
I guess why not? And then did we use the Jinways? Nobody took a crane. I mean, why would you take a crane now when you can take a Dill? Like,
you get +1 whip and dodge +3 inches instead of +2 inches.
But you're missing out on the CC24.
Ooh, yes. Ooh,
right.
Yes, good.
I think the crane is pretty solid, but it's fighting for its life against other like Sun Tzu,
when a 60 of your points are going into one of these models, like it's hard to. It's a lot of choices.
There's a lot of like high 40s, low 50s models that are all kind of there, and the crane. I don't know. I think there's a place for it. I have a fun list to share afterwards.
APHMG or Triangulated Fireman. Those are my favorite.
Those are the ones I take, yeah. They're the standouts because they do something that the other models don't, right? Like, if you're going to take just a Spitfire gunfighter, take a Deal because he's awesome, right? Whereas, if you're for 2 more points. Whereas, if you're going to take, like, something that needs to do a specific job, that Triangulated Fire Sensor guy is great.
I love what Adil also is CC23 Martial Arts 3 with a para -6 weapon.
Yep.
How about you want to fight me? I don't think you want to fight me.
How about I tase the shit out of you on the ground?
And then lightsaber you in half.
Yeah. Nobody took the Kinis, but no, that's fine. Nobody took Kunai Solutions Ninjas.
Yes. Better than regular ninja.
I don't know,
the Type 2 ninja.
The Type 2 Thunderbolt still makes me fucking think where I'm like, I want this to work somehow. I don't know how it does, but I want it to work so bad.
I agree. I said he was better. He's better than a regular ninja. He's just worse than a Koga Ninja.
Yeah, he is.
The Rushi, we also talked about this when we were talking about JSA, but it gained Mind Dispenser on the Red Theory profile.
Sure did.
And it just seems solid. And I'm tempted to take it every time. And I stare at it, and I decide not to.
It drops down to MSV1. right? For the Red Fury, because it like loses
Mind
part of its
Dispenser.
eyeballs, but Mind Dispenser. Yeah. I fully agree. I like the idea of it.
But
Drop
yeah,
minds.
I think it's a solid faction now. I don't think anyone can argue otherwise.
I think that the bits that got
The
filled in
hell
by
I
the new
can't.
stuff. So everyone listening, by Owen's own admission, it's irrational. It's just like if you Jing.
No.
Like
This is
rational
Owen's
about it.
exact words. ISS seems like it'd be fun to play, and it pisses me off because I want to hate them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to hate them. I don't know why. I
Man,
just wanna
you
hate
guys
them.
sure have everything that I like about a faction, but I'm never going to play it.
But I'm
'cause
never gonna play it.
I hate your faction. And you're
That's
bad.
I'm just going to play it improperly in your eyes. It
I
just
hate
makes me
you. I hate
infuriated.
you on purpose for no reason. So what's your fun list, Dan? We'll round this off.
My fun list. Oh, let me open her up here. My
Oh,
apologies.
just open her up.
I have exactly 4 Yuching lists saved, and they're all for this episode.
They're all this episode.
It's like all my other every other faction
just
for
for
me.
context, Owen's phone has something like 1,100 infinity lists on it. There's only 4 Yuching ones. He can scroll for a while with how many infinity lists are on that phone.
From like all the factions, all variants, and then there are now exactly 4 Yuching for this episode.
Under protest. All right, what is this bullshit? 9.5 SWC. Oh, this is the gimmick. It's how high could you get the SWC to go? I love this. I love this for you. Okay.
If you ever wondered how many SWC you can have, normally the answer is 6. Sometimes it goes to 7. In ISS, it goes to 9.5.
It goes to almost double digits.
Yeah.
This is the highest in the game, I think, right?
You can get to like 12 available, but then you don't have enough points to fill it out.
Right.
And so I think this is the max of
a legal list's SWC.
Of how you can make it high and actually use all.
And actually use it at the same time.
The only competition I've seen is 8 and 300.
Yeah.
In Pano, vanilla Pano.
Do you get to 8?
Yeah.
Scrubs.
So this is an insane
agent,
list. Yeah.
We're talking about how the crane agent can be that crane agent as a lieutenant gets plus 1.5 SWIC.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Cien as a specialist operative multi-rifle has a +1 profile. So you bring 2 Ciens and the crane agent to boost it up that plus 3.5. And then you bring cheap 19-point Takini multi-snipers at 1.5. You bring cheap 23-point Wu Ming rocket launchers at 1.5 switch each. And you round it off with a 0.5 smoke grenade launcher in the Celestial Guard monitor. Is it a good list? Almost definitely not. But you have a crazy ARO presence where it's just everyone stands up and goes, "Come at me, bro." Just so many people crossing so many areas. If you don't have the right tools, then it could be a slog up the board.
It's crazy how the Daikinis are your cheapest SWC cost because there's no Zanchis in this list. And the Celestial Guard doesn't have any heavy weapons. They just have hackers. It's so weird. It's so weird that that's the cheapest way you can do it.
And you make it the Dakinis and the Wu Ming's Harris, so everyone's linked.
Yeah, because the Dakinis are still cheaper than the remotes. Because I was thinking about the TR bots, and even they are more expensive.
No, this is 15 orders and 9.5 SWIC.
That's insane.
$299.
Insane. I guess technically you could take one guided BS missile launcher and save a point. Because the Sun Bay is 16 points.
I don't have any hackers. Who cares?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how you can spend more SWC and get to 10. I want to see how you get higher.
No, you can't.
I want to see how you get higher.
Because, well, the problem is to get more SWC, you need to bring another Cien.
I know.
And that's 44 points.
I know. I'm trying to do the math here, buddy.
So it's just not possible. Believe me, I've tried.
I got it. Yeah, we've tried. Okay.
Could this list stop a Hatamoto?
Probably.
That's how lucky they get.
I don't think so.
Can I crit?
I think the Hatamoto kills everything here. Just one by one.
But Hatamoto kills just about everything always, so
yeah.
Is that saying much of anything?
Yeah.
I think the crane kills him. Triangulated fire. If the crane gets him on active, he dies. If the crane gets him on active, he dies. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, with triangulated fire, he'll just blow through him. Because once he gets through it, like once he hits him, the guy's just an armor 2 dude.
Yeah, but then
he's still armor
hit once
5.
and goes around the corner.
Like triangular fire gets you past the hitting mods, but you still have to break armor 5 with your shitty multi-rifle.
Yeah, sure.
AP. Does he have immunity hands?
No, he'd be armor 4 then.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought it was really funny and just kind of like, no one else can do this.
It is silly for sure. Well, we did it. We did the new one. And Owen grudgingly admitted he'd like to play them, even if he doesn't want to, and he never will.
We've talked about the non-lethal list, and I think we don't have it all filed. Me and Owen have discussed our own non-lethal effectiveness, but non-lethal, if you want to play non-lethal, this is the faction to do it, I think.
It has the most sticky in EM for sure. I think it's now outshines O12. Yeah, it outshines O12 now.
I think it's
crazy.
I think it still competes with Starmada. I think there's a few things in here that are really good that makes it the competition to Starmada.
Yeah.
There's no bronze equivalent for that sticky list.
No, for sure.
There's no one who can stand there with like the bronze acrolat or the bronze heavy riot stopper, and he's just like, what are you going to do? Like,
yeah.
And he can melee.
Who even are you? Yeah.
So I agree that it is definitely solid. And like Dan's saying, we've talked about it a bunch in how you could do a non-lethal list here. I think it is these guys versus Starmada as like the competition.
Yeah. Honestly, okay, so you say that, but the Jing Wei, sure, it's not immunity enhanced, only armor 2, but it's 2 structure with remote presence, and it's got adhesive launcher, acrolat cannon, heavy riot stopper for only 19 points.
For 19 points.
So 3 of those guys, I mean, it's no bronze because the bronze can take a bunch more punishment,
and that's it.
Punishment.
And the bronze can also beat you to death with his hands. By beat you to death, I mean put the cuffs on with his para martial arts natural.
He's resisting. He's resisting. Stop resisting.
I will forever get that bronze and put the little ATF on his jacket, and
that's what ACAB stands for now. All cops are bronzes.
Yeah. But yeah, this is they are definitely a solid non-lethal. We have a non-lethal tournament coming up.
Hell yeah,
Dan!
That's how stupid it's getting in the prairies.
Let me borrow a few O12 guys to round out my list, and then you play Imperial Service, and we see who makes it to the end.
That'd be really fun. Actually.
Just racing to the bottom.
It was a lot better when you could spam adhesive launch turrets.
This is where N5's got. It was. This is where
it was better when you could spam the turrets.
All right. Well, next up,
insane.
Next up, we've got Invincible Army, the big
best faction in Yuching.
Best faction in Yuching, and you heard it here, and that'll be next week, where we do more Heroes to Zeros. Bye, everybody.
Bye.